Hello and welcome to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy. Hi guys, today we're going to look at this rather strange looking vehicle. You'll notice right away that it looks like a boat, or maybe more precisely a bathtub, but it's a amphibious vehicle that was developed by Volkswagen for the German army. And between 1942 and 1944, they manufactured about 14,300 of these vehicles. And it was armed with an MG-34, which you see here, or an MG-42, a Maschinengewehr 42. To propel this item through the water, it had a propeller on the back. And what they would do is one of the crewmen or one of the soldiers riding in this vehicle would lift up this bar here and then push this down into the water. And so that now you have a propelled boat. They also would have an oar, and the oar would have been attached here. I've been looking for the oar, and I can't seem to find it. And you might be thinking, or what? And I'm like, oh, well. And they say, Orwell? You mean George Orwell? No, I mean, it's an oar, like a paddle. Or what? No, stop it, Iggy. Just stop it. Or what? Stop it! Okay, I stopped. Sorry, guys. Iggy gets carried away. Too much Abbott and Costello, I guess. Anyway, it seems like an awkward way to put it into the water. Like maybe they should have had a lever on here that they could push or pull and have this drop into the water. But it has this on here to keep it in an upright position while it's going cross country. And the boat-like appearance or tub-like appearance of the vehicle is very apparent. And you can see it has no doors. And a reason for that, of course, is to keep it watertight. It has a Kugelsitz, bucket seats. So they sit right there on the floor of the vehicle. It could hold 4 men, and it was designated for reconnaissance duty. So normally this would have been painted in a camouflage pattern. Now, this vehicle was made in 1999 by 21st Century Toys under their Ultimate Soldier banner. And this is one of the earlier vehicles that they produced. They would later go on to produce some very ambitious products, such as a remote-controlled Stuart tank, or what the British would call a honey. The honey was used in Saipan against the Chiha 97 Japanese medium tank, and it was able to go toe-to-toe with that vehicle because they had the same caliber main gun. Basically, they were very similar. Now, this vehicle was given to me by my friend Doug for my birthday, and as Doug's wife, Angel, was mortified when she saw me in the neighborhood pool across the street from her house. And I was pushing this around in the pool and making combat sounds, and Doug was there too, and he was having fun, but his wife was not. She's like, oh my God, how can I get my husband away from this Iggy guy? He's a nutcase. Anyway, I didn't want to embarrass Doug and his family too much, so I got out of the pool. I was wearing shorts, so it wasn't that bad, was it? what else can I say about this vehicle? It was a birthday present, of course, and I love it. And eventually I plan to paint it in a camo scheme. Now, Ultimate Soldier did release a camo version, and they released one that was painted OD green and had American tactical symbols on it. This one has the Baltic Cross, of course, for the German army. The American one had a white circle with a white star in the middle of the white circle. It's a pretty cool vehicle. And when you get your figures, you put your Ultimate Soldier or G.I. Joe or Dragon or whoever it is that you might have in here and have it on display on the shelf. It looks really cool. It's something that I'm very glad to have. I still have some more vehicles to share with you. I think I have an M8 Scout car by Hasbro, and I also have a motorcycle with sidecar by Ultimate Soldier. That's really cool. So I'll probably be showing those to you in a future video. So what is this vehicle about? Well, it was developed by Volkswagen, and it was between 1942 and 44, they produced 14,300 vehicles. It weighed close to 1,000 pounds, or 2,000. I can't see my book. It weighed 2,000 pounds. It had a payload capacity of almost 1,000 pounds. It's about 959 pounds. Had a 4-cylinder open air cooled engine. It was 25 horsepower. It had a maximum speed of 50 miles and then per hour, and in the water it went 6 miles per hour. It had a range of 325 miles. I'm sorry, I had to look up from the book, and I realized how I'm showing you the tire, and I should have retired that. I think you're probably tired of that by now. Am I still on the video? Yes. Okay. So I can finish this off for you. And it says that it's amphibious, which explains the tub-like shape of it, and was well liked by the troops for reconnaissance duty. Let me show you a painting of one that's a real one. And here it is camouflage. You see the oar, and it had a cover. You'd pull this up, and a canvas cover. Though I've never seen one of these covered with the canvas. So it's a pretty cool figure. My goodness. Iggy sure has the moments where he mispronounces or misspeaks. If I was a girl, my name would be Misspeaks. Luckily, I'm not a girl because I have a really big beard. Although I was at the mall once and saw a guy walking with his girlfriend, and she had a full-on beard. And it's amazing all the different varieties that people come in. But if I was a guy, I don't think, I could have a girlfriend with a beard. That would be weird. I'm afeared it would be weird. George Carlin used to do a skit where he'd say, "Don't be afeared, it's just a beard." That's back in the days when he looked like a hippie. I saw George Carlin at my high school. One of my friends said, "Hey, come with me." I said, "Where are we going?" It was during the lunch break. And we went to a classroom, and there was George Carlin. And we stood in the back because the class was filled to capacity plus some. And George Carlin did his routine. And he was really funny. I thought he was hilarious. Anyway, I remember I was standing next to this girl who was, how shall we say, and keep this family friendly. She was, oh God, I hope my cousins aren't watching this. She was buxom, and George Carlin did a thing about tits. He said, tits is one of those words that sounds like a snack. And then he goes, say, kids, ask your mom to buy a box of cheese tits. I got real embarrassed. And I look at the girl next to me and she was laughing. So I was like, okay, she's not too offended by that. I didn't look at her too closely because I didn't want to be accused of being creepy. Okay, so this thing here, I think, is the muffler because they need to keep that above out of the water. I've seen real ones. I saw a video of a club that had, I think, about 7 members, and they were all driving these Schwimmwagens, and it showed them going into the river or lake or whatever it was. And the guys that were trying to showboat or show off would drive real quick into the river, and the water would rush up the front slope and right into the passenger. And of course, you couldn't drain it out because what kept the water out also kept it in. So I'm like, oh man, that was really dumb that they did that. But when I was in the Army, I remember a training exercise where we drove into a pond or something, or can't remember if it was just a ditch maybe filled with water. And the guys that were trying to show off would go really fast, and the water would rush up the front slope of the tank right into the driver's compartment, and they would get soaked. So when it was Iggy's turn, I went very slowly into the water and then out. And that kept me dry that way. But, you know, what helped me was being able to see what happened to other guys as they went in. But the club had 7 functioning World War II Schwimmwagens, and they were camoed and looked just like this one here. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you on the 21st Century Toys Ultimate Soldier Schwimmwagen made in 1999. So let's take a walk around of the vehicle, kick the tires, and give you an idea what the vehicle looks like from all sides before I sign off. I had trouble putting the machine gun back on. In fact, it's just resting. See, there's supposed to be, where is it? Where did I put it? Huh, I don't see it now. But there's supposed to be 2 little indentations where this hooks into it, and I couldn't get it to stay in the hole, so I had to just rest the thing here. Eventually what I'll do is super glue it. If I do that, though, I don't think you can raise the windshield. No, I guess you still can. You know, that's what those guys in the club should have done. If they had raised the windshield, it would have kept the water from overflowing. Oh, I just lost my machine gun. Here's a shovel. There's supposed to be an oar on the other side, and or what? I don't know. An oar. George? Not George Orwell. Oh, well. Not Orwell. Orwell. Oh, anyway. Did I show you? This is my second video because I goofed up on the first one. Did I show you how they would propel it through the water? Please forgive me if I'm showing this to you again, guys. But I made several videos and I can't remember what I showed you or not. But what they would do is they would flip this up and then lower it into the water. and they had to manually flip this up and put this into the water. If I was to design it, I would make it so that, you'd have a lever and you'd pull that or something, and this would lower into the water, but maybe it costs too much money to do that. There's a couple pieces missing, and I hope I find them later, but there's a piece that goes here that goes up, and it has the license plate on it, because there's no license plate here, but there is on the front of the vehicle. This is where the oar went. There was also some weird thing that went in here. I don't know what it was, but it looks like a weird modern sculpture. Pardon me. Here's the front license plate. I wonder if that's a real license plate number. I wonder if that's possible to look up. Okay, guys, well, this goes really nicely with your Ultimate Soldier figures and Dragon and G.I. Joe, and is really nice on the shelf. Okay, that's all I got for you. I want to thank you for getting it. By the way, Iggy's in his cowboy kitchen. It's been a while since I've showed you the cowboy kitchen. This is where I cook. I don't have a stove. This is not really a kitchen, it's a bedroom. But I make all my videos here on the kitchen table. You see those two towers in the back? That's for a castle that I'm going to show you in a future video. There's so many pieces to it, I got really discouraged. I'm like, gosh, I don't want to put this together. It's quite a bit, but hopefully I can do that for you. All right, thank you for getting Iggy with it. This is your friend Iggy saying so long, and thank you for coming along and getting Iggy with it. And why not enlist in the Iggy Army? You could be the 550th subscriber. I'm at 548 right now. So I only have 900,000 is it 900? Anyway, my math skills are really terrible. I should just stop talking. I need to get a drink of water. Anyway, my throat's very dry. My voice is cracky and poor quality because I snore like crazy at night. I have sleep apnea, and I snore quite a bit. I think I don't have sleep apnea too bad, though. The longest I stopped breathing was 1.5 minutes. And then I woke up. But they did a sleep study, and I had a hard time trying to sleep because I was afraid that while I was sleeping, I would fart or pick my nose or something. And you're on camera the whole time that they're doing the study. So it's a little awkward. Anyway, that's it for Iggy. I will say so long. Well, no, we have this German vehicle. We'll say, Guten Abend, mein Freunden, mein Kameraden.